Hi, my name is Miranda, and this is my family. I am the youngest of three. There's my dad, my mom, my older brother Spencer, and my oldest sister Crystal. As you can see, Crystal has a baby bump. In today's story, I'm going to tell you how that baby came to be. It all started March 4th, 2009. That morning, I quietly got ready for school, being cautious not to wake my sister up. I went through my usual day at school with not much going on. On the bus ride home, these two brother and sister siblings were sharing a bag of peanut M&Ms, and I could not wait to get home and see what my mom was making for dinner. I got off the bus, and as I was walking to my front door, I noticed that my mom's car wasn't in the driveway. I thought it was a little odd because my mom was always home to greet me. Instead, my dad was there. He had been waiting for me and opened the door. "Crystal is in the hospital. She's going to have her baby soon," he said. Crystal was in labor. I was excited. A baby? What would this mean? What would our family look like? Would the baby like me? Would I need to change its diapers? So much clouded my mind, and I felt exhausted. Hours later, the phone rang, and Dad got up in a panic. "Crystal is going to have a C-section? I'm on my way." Spencer and I waited alone in the house for what felt like hours, playing cards and watching lots of SpongeBob. I fell asleep on the couch, and the next thing I knew, my dad was shaking my shoulder, telling me I would be late for the bus if I didn't get up immediately. I was disoriented. I had so many thoughts, but I just got up and dragged my feet to the bus stop. My day at school went by slow, and my head hurt all day long. I spent most of the day sleeping in the nurse's office. My long day was finally over once the school bell rang through the halls at 2:45. The bus ride home was long and cold. It seemed like a dismal day. Tears started flowing down my face as I got off the bus and headed towards my house. My dad greeted me at the door and asked why I was crying, because we were on the way to a big surprise. Dad rushed me in the car, and time seemed to stand still as we stopped at every red light between my house and our destination. We ended up in a part of town that was not familiar to me, but I soon realized we were pulling into the parking lot of the hospital. My dad then asked me if I was ready to go see the baby. Excitement filled my body, and I ran into the lobby of the hospital, not even bothering to wait for my dad. The elevator ride seemed so long. We finally arrived at the door of the room, and my father opened the door. I stepped inside, made eye contact with my mom, and ran to her for a hug. I was so relieved to hug her for what felt like the first time in years. I was so focused on being reunited with my mom that I completely forgot about my sister and the baby. My sister called my name, and suddenly the focus of the room was on me. "Come sit," said Crystal, pointing to the foot of her hospital bed. I sat down, and in her arms is what I assumed to be the baby, but I couldn't see because it was all bundled up. "Do you want to hold him?" she asked. Him? I immediately looked at my mom. I was petrified. My mom said, "You can hold him." She reassured me with her sweet smile. Crystal moved towards me and said, "Hold your arms out." I held my arms out, and she placed the baby in my arms. In that moment, time froze. I stared at this little human being in my arms and thought, wow, he's so small. Crystal smiled and said, "This is Marcius Orion. Congratulations, you're his auntie now." In all my amazement at this little being, all of a sudden he broke my fixation as he started to whine in my arms. This panicked me, and I tried to give him back to Crystal. This moment changed my life. It's now been 11 years since that day, and today Marcius and I have grown up together as best friends. We supported each other in everything we did. I would go to his music recitals, his Little League baseball games, and his Saturday morning basketball games. He was growing in height so fast and was the strongest 11-year-old I have ever seen. He made wrestling quite a challenge. I did everything with him. If I went to the store, he was with me trying to find snacks we could both share. If I was watching a movie, he was also watching the movie while cuddled up next to me. If I were going to a sporting event at my school, he was right there next to me in the student section. and because he was with me, he was accepted and included as one of the high schoolers. We were each other's support system. Every volleyball game I had, Marcius was there cheering me on. Lineup, after my name was called, I would blow a kiss to him from the court. After games, he would give me a snack and would tell me how awesome I played. He had so much pride in me, and I was just happy to have him there. On my senior night, I was greeted by my family and friends, but what meant the most to me was Marcius giving me the most beautiful bouquet of flowers and a great big hug. He was a surprise I had been waiting for. He made my life whole. So, Marcius, if you're watching this, thank you for being my best buddy through everything.